There are three main woodworking chisels: the firmer chisel, the bevel edge chisel, and the mortise chisel. The bevel edge chisel is a versatile general purpose chisel, used for lighter aspects of woodworking. The blade has a 25-degree angle on three sides. This is known as the bevel edge. It has a thin blade, which is not designed for heavy mallet blow. The shape of the blade allows for cutting into angled corners, making it good for paring. The firmer chisel is a general purpose chisel with a square blade edge, which is strong enough to withstand heavy blows from the mallet. The metal ferrule ensures the handle has strength and stops it from splitting. This chisel is best suited to being used for the removal of waste wood. Mortise chisels are a specialist chisel for creating the mortise part of the mortise and tenon joint. It is designed to be used by striking the chisel with a mallet and levering out the wood. It has a stronger and thicker blade to withstand the heavy blows needed to create a mortise and tenon joint. To see how to use this chisel in detail, check out the mortise and tenon video on the channel. There are two main techniques when using a chisel to create wood joints: chopping and paring. Chopping involves hitting the chisel handle with a mallet to remove larger areas of waste wood, whilst paring is a more intricate technique where small shavings of waste wood are removed with hand pressure. This video will show you when and how to use both. The technique of chopping refers to using a mallet to drive the chisel into wood, normally when removing larger sections of the waste wood. Chopping is usually carried out after cross-cutting with a saw has taken place, which has broken the fibres of the wood and is generally used where a saw cannot remove the waste wood. Chopping can be done with a firmer or bevel edge chisel. In this demonstration, a bevel edge chisel is used. When chopping horizontally across the grain for either a housing, halving or similar joint, personally, I like to chop with the bevel edge or sloped edge facing down. This technique is ideal for beginners as it allows more control, as the bevel edge of the chisel will drive the chisel upwards, ensuring you do not go too deep. To chop, position your body parallel to your workpiece once it has been secured. Hold your chisel in your weak hand with an overhand grip. Ensure your chisel is bevel edge down and you're holding it at roughly a 45-degree angle. Now, only taking 1 or 2 millimeters at a time, lightly strike the mallet. If the chisel does not take off enough waste wood, increase the angle of the chisel slightly. If it takes off too much, decrease the angle. Never go over the edge when chopping. Work until just over halfway and turn it around and start from the other side, as going over the edge could cause tear out. Stop when you are 1 to 2 millimeters above your pencil line. The remaining waste can then be pared back to the line. If chopping large sections of waste wood, it is best to break them up by sawing more crosscuts. As you can see here, I have crosscut in the middle of the waste wood, allowing me to take smaller, more manageable sections at a time. Paring refers to using hand pressure and the chisel flat side down to remove small amounts of wood, normally used when finishing joints after chopping. When paring, secure the wood to the bench and stand directly in front of it, holding your chisel in both hands, with the chisel facing flat side down. To start, you must establish a flat section at the front of the joint. To do this, place the edge of your chisel on your pencil line and gently push the chisel forward. Once the initial cuts have been completed, you can use more of a short stabbing motion to take the material down to the pencil line level. Only pare the front section of the joint initially, as once this has been complete it can be used as a reference. Check your work regularly with a combination square or straight edge to identify any peaks and remove as necessary. Once you have established a flat section, slide your thumb slightly higher up on the blade. Pressing the chisel down on the flat section, continue to pare the waste up to approx halfway. By pressing down on the flat section, you are using this as a reference, which will ensure the rest of the joint will be pared to the same level. Continue to check how level the joint is regularly, stopping when the first half of the joint is level with the pencil line. Then turn the wood around and repeat this process from the other side. Clean up the shoulders by paring along them and any other missed areas. Paring by hand like this is a difficult technique and takes time and practice to do accurately. Here are some methods to make it easier. Clamp your wood to the desk with a G-clamp. Now in front of your joint, clamp down a block of wood the same thickness as your required depth, in this case 8mm. Ensuring your chisel is flat side down and flat on the paring block, start to pare and remove the remaining waste wood. If there is any waste wood remaining, you can use your chisel along the shoulder of the joint to remove it. Pare to just over halfway, then turn the wood around and repeat the process from the other side. Using a paring block in this way alleviates the need to create a flat section on your joint by hand. If you have a hand router, this could also be used to pare. Set the depth stop to the depth required for the joint and secure the wood to the bench. Then, using short stabbing motions, pare the wood until no more can be taken off. Again, do this until just over half the joint and turn the wood around and repeat the process. As long as the depth stop has been set correctly on the hand router, the cutting blade cannot go below the required depth, giving a level and accurate finish to the joint. There may be occasions where it is best to chop vertically, for example when the waste wood needs removing from smaller, more intricate joints like this dovetail. When chopping vertically, place a piece of scrap wood underneath your wood to protect the bench and secure it to the bench using a G-clamp and scrap piece of wood. Now, place your chisel on the saw line and with the bevel edge of the chisel facing outwards, strike the chisel with a mallet. When chopping vertically, you can go right through the wood as you can clean up the edges by paring afterwards. Chop small amounts of waste wood at a time and stop 1 or 2 millimeters before your pencil line. When tidying up edges or shoulders, it is normally best to pare vertically. To do this, hold the handle in your good hand and wrap your index finger around the blade near the cutting edge. Holding the chisel in this way will allow more control, as you can use your finger as a depth stop and stop the chisel from going too deep. Clamp a piece of scrap wood with a straight edge on your pencil line and resting the flat side of your chisel on the scrap bit of wood, carefully press down on the handle and pare to halfway. It's important not to go down past the edge as this could cause tear out. If positioned correctly, your fingers will act as a depth stop and stop the chisel from going too far. Repeat this process from the other side. There may be times when clamping a straight edge on your pencil line will be too difficult, like the sloped edges for this dovetail. In this case, secure the wood to the bench and pare using the same process, just without the scrap wood, ensuring the chisel is vertical and that you're using your fingers to stop the chisel going too deep. Again, only pare to halfway down and turn the wood around the repeat from the other side. Vertical paring is also a great technique to make small alterations to the size of a joint or finish the shoulders after sawing. To do this, clamp a scrap bit of wood with a straight edge on your pencil line. Now, resting the straight edge of the chisel on the scrap wood, carefully pare down all the way along the shoulder. Clean up any leftover waste wood by taking your chisel along the shoulder and test fit after every pass until the joint has a tight fit and vertical edges. Over time and with practice, you can identify the techniques that best suit your work, needs and experience level. Always be aware that chisels are extremely sharp and can cause serious injury if not used correctly. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.